Want more of the good things already happening in your lives? Draw gratitude for what is already flowing in your lives to invite more in. My name is Carmen. On my channel, I share tools for inner freedom. For my drawing sessions, I use the powerful structured drawing method of Neurographica as my tool. For drawing Neurographica, you do not need any artistic skills. All you need is a few markers and pens and a paper. Like markers of 3 different sizes, colored pencils, and a paper. So, let's place a standing order with the universe by drawing gratitude for what already flows in our lives now. So, as usual in Neurographica, we activate our topic by writing down associations on that topic. And our topic is the topic gratitude. So we take the back of our papers and write down gratitude. And we write down words in 2 minutes without thinking what is in ourselves about gratitude, what comes up, what are we grateful for. Don't think, just take your pen and write down whatever comes to your mind in the next 2 minutes. Okay, now you can look at your words and feel into your body. What do these words do? Did anything come up you are grateful for at the moment? For me, it did. and I feel expansion in myself, and I feel on my path. I feel connected. I feel that I love my life and I love people, and I feel that I live a version of myself that I am content with at this moment. And I'm on my way doing what I came here for. So this is what comes up right now before drawing. And now we want to use all this to create this standing order with universe, more of that. Because if we emphasize on that and we look at the things we are grateful for and we even make them visible in the drawing, we order from universe more of that with this energy of gratitude. And I invite you to even go deeper into the subconscious now, and we won't place shapes for what we discovered right now, what we are grateful for, but we will first create lines that connect ourselves even deeper to our inner wisdom, to our intuition, to all the knowledge we are connected to from the past, from the field. And we do that by creating neural lines. And please have a look what a neural line is going to be like. So today our drawing direction is like from left to right, back and forth. And we create neural lines, which are lines that flow organically through the whole paper. We take our time. We create lines that do not repeat themselves, and they flow where we do not expect to see them. We lead them to where we do not expect to see them. We don't have like repetitive movements. We don't have straight lines. We always use organic flowing neural lines, like the edges of clouds or waves in the water, sand dunes. It's always going where you do not expect to see it. And automatically, by creating those lines now, we connect to our topic of gratefulness. We want to emphasize our gratefulness for whatever is in our lives right now that we want there. And we will naturally attract more of that. And each of our lines contains this energy. We don't have to like think about that all the time. We just focus on the lines and observe what is coming up. Do you have new ideas? What is coming up? In my body, I feel my heart beating, a little bit excited. So what's coming up for me is now I will have a new workshop tomorrow, a live workshop for the first time in the Finnish language. And I'm excited about that and grateful for that opportunity. And curious how it will be. So you see, the lines are intersecting, and that's great. No fears, you just create more lines from left to right and from right to left. Feeling into that topic. So I am grateful for this opportunity to grow. For me, it feels expanding, and I feel joyful when I do something new. And I do something new whenever I feel that I'm ready for something new. So the joy comes from being ready for a next step. And this is what I'm grateful for. So what are you grateful for? Write it down. If you want to, you can also type it in the chat, whatever you're grateful for. The more you emphasize that, the more you will come back to you. This energy of gratefulness. And I feel that I'm creating a map of gratefulness here, even before I have placed any shapes. So what we do with these lines is we activate our subconscious, we activate our inner wisdom, everything that we usually are a little bit disconnected from in our daily lives. It's difficult to listen to our voice from inside, to our wisdom, to our intuition. If our lives are very noisy, busy, and if we have a lot of if we listen to a lot of external talking, like live talking with people, or if you're constantly somewhere in watching videos or whatever, you will not be able to hear your own voice. And I'll also recommend you to switch off this video while you do that, because my voice will naturally also be distracting you from hearing your own messages. I cannot draw and receive my messages while I'm listening to some instructor. For me, that does not work. I always do it like that. I watch what it's how it works, and then I'll do it after that, or I stop the video. So if you want to work on your own process, become quiet. And the more lines you have, the more active you have your topic. You see, it looks like waves flowing through the paper. And I'm also going over some of my lines again. And we do that, a few more lines we add, a few more goes. I'm grateful for the knowledge and the experience that I always have, whatever I need in every moment. I am carried. I am guided. I have whatever I need in every moment, and if something is not in my life what I think I would need, but it's not there at this moment, then I know that I don't need it at this moment. Because if I would need it, I would have it in my life right now. So whatever I have in my life is what I need right now. I have in my life a beautiful place to live. I have in my life my son, who is living with me and who is a very beautiful sparring partner. I have a cat nowadays in my life, which is also very enriching, calming to the nervous system. Can recommend that. A nervous system regulator by nature. I have the sea right in front of my door. I have a country which I love and which I live. I'm able to express myself in the language of that country by now. I'm grateful for understanding Finnish people speaking their own language. Especially grateful I'm for understanding people who are conscious, creating conscious content, and I'm also I'm able to understand that by now, and I'm quite grateful for that. Grateful for being able to harvest like my efforts for learning the language, which will be ongoing effort, lifelong, I guess, but I see a lot of wins I'm grateful for. Grateful for being able to express myself. Yes, and now you can check. First you check inside. How do you feel? How does your body react to these lines? I feel the need to inhale deeply and exhale, and I feel there's lots going on. And what we want to do next is we want to draw shapes, circles, at like points where you find a lot of intersections. So I was speaking about my gratefulness for the language, and I was here lots of intersections, and I want to place a shape here, and my circle does not fit the paper here, and it doesn't matter. Like my brain will like know that this is a circle. You can place it anywhere on your drawing where you find like a lot of intersections, and then you see what this circle stands for. So I'm grateful for understanding content in the Finnish language, people speaking even about very interesting stuff, because at the beginning I was only like understanding like basic directions or something, but now I understand things that are interesting for me, like on my, like also on my spiritual interest. So what we do with our circle, we ask ourselves what is like the meaning, and then we connect it to the surrounding lines by creating smooth intersections. We call that rounding. So we go around our circle and connect the shape of our circle to the lines they meet. And we also do that inside the circle. We connect these intersections. So by making this visible and this making myself aware of my gratefulness for understanding the language to this extent, I will order more from universe in this direction. So I will most probably not stop listening to any podcasts. I will do more of that, and I will even improve by doing that. So I will feel naturally attracted to what creates more of that. Yeah, and that's nice. So I want another circle somewhere here, and I don't know the meaning yet. I draw the circle. And I see what it stands for. Yeah. I go over my circle again, and I do that until meaning comes to me. I'm grateful for my newly discovered love for people. That's what comes up here. And I want to feel into that more, and I go more around my circle, so you can go over your circle many times. Feel into that energy. Grateful for my love for people. I have to admit that for the longest time I was kind of afraid of people, because I had very uncomfortable experiences with people, and I was kind of avoiding people, and especially close relationships. But what comes up now is love for people, and I feel that that is connected to me connecting to my more healed version, where I can keep like my energy where I want it, even when interacting with people. So the interaction with people is not dangerous anymore, and I can even feel love for people. And also what comes up is I don't need to fix anyone. I'm also grateful for that. I can love people because I have relieved myself, freed myself from this belief that I need to fix people. No, I do not need to fix anyone. If someone wants to fix themselves, they can do that. They can also get my assistance, but it's not my duty to fix anyone. And by the way, nobody is even broken. But many people think they are and want fixing and want to do something for that. I also did that for a long time. And it's necessary and useful to move on your path, and whatever you need to fix on your path, you can do until you discover that you're not even broken. So I want to place a circle for that as well. So I love people, and I want to place this idea, my gratefulness for this idea that I don't have to fix anyone, because no one is broken. That's a big relief for me, and I'm really grateful for this insight. And this is why we drew the lines first, because now there come other things to the surface than I would have placed consciously. So I'm grateful for not having to fix anyone. What a relief. I love that. See, I am connecting this circle with the surrounding lines by making smooth intersections. Take care that you do that, because this is like creating a smooth energy flow in our fresh maps for our mind, which we create. So the traffic wants to be smooth. That's why we do these intersections very smoothly. I wanted to mention that I'm using a ball pen, which is also possible. My ball pen is very used a lot, and it's flowing very nicely. I have a new one which is thinner, this one, and this is good for very thin lines, but it doesn't flow yet, and I also don't like it that much, so it's not that smooth yet. This pen I'm using at the moment looks a little bit used, because it is. I had already used that being a student myself in school. So that was quite a few years ago. Quite a few decades ago indeed. It has been in my basement for many years in between, but now it's back to life. So what I like to do, and what I want to do now, I create a little drawing on my back of my paper, and like write down what my circles stand for. So I invite you to do that if you also want to remember, maybe later. Have this idea of putting a circle for being grateful, for being ready for new development steps, like for this movement forward, for this upgrading movement I feel at the moment. Like there was a lot of things in myself gradually developing, and whenever they have, like, the roots have developed enough, then next step can happen. Like, my next step is, for example, doing workshops, offering workshops in the Finnish language. So what is the, I will name it again. I will want to go and check what is the name of this circle. It is Gratefulness for Expansion. Whew. This is what it stands for. I'm grateful for the expansion I am experiencing. So what are you experiencing? What is coming up? Is something unexpected coming up that your attention is directed to with this drawing? Something you're grateful for that you were not aware of before, maybe? That's where the magic happens. More of that. So I order more expansion here. I order more love for people. I order more responsibility for their own development for people I work with, I interact with. More and more independence. I will attract more and more independent people in my life. Also people I work with who are ready to do the work and don't expect me to find their solutions. And I'm not going to expect that from me anymore. I don't need to find solutions for anyone, because I cannot even know. Everyone is, I'm here in this circle now, everyone is like developing their own pace at their own like level, and also like having to have their own experiences. And of course I will do whatever I can share whatever I perceive, but I cannot have this this demand that people will relate to that. My first teacher in that is obviously my eldest son. I learned that. But now I'm also learning that for everyone else. And yes, our relationships get much more easy, much more warm, much more comfortable, and become even possible only because of that. And this is all of that I'm grateful for, deeply inside. And if my mind would have had to decide to draw the circles on what I am grateful for before drawing those lines, I would have picked completely different things. And now I want to check whether I want to pick one of those. I love people is here. Moving away from human limitations. I follow my path without agenda. This is in this. I love my life. I have everything I need in every moment. Yeah, I want to put I love my life. I want to put another circle for that, and then I think I might stop. I feel that needs to be in the middle, and it is bigger than the space here, so I will have some intersections, which is quite fine. I put I love my life, because I can really assure you that was not the case for decades. I did not love my life. I love my life. I'm grateful for this new experience. And it has to do with expansion here. It has to be with everything I learned on the way. And it feels even more expanding inside of me while I'm drawing that. So your body will also tell you. It's like by its reactions, does it agree? Is it afraid? Does it have to release something, some memories? Like while I was drawing this circle, my heartbeat became faster, excitement, positive excitement, and also some kind of fearful, like doubts in my body, like, ooh, is that really true? Do you love your life? Is that safe to love your life? Can you do that? Shouldn't you worry instead? Shouldn't you worry about tomorrow? No, if I love my life now, today, I create my order, my standing order for more of that freedom now, more of that. Whatever I have at this moment, everything is here. More of that feeling of expansion, more of the love of my life, more of love for people, more of communication skills, more of that. And that's what we do by drawing our attention to gratitude and then expressing it with lines, with neurolines, making it visible. Beautiful. I feel quite happy with that. I want another shape for I always have whatever I need. And I'm sorry, but it needs to be big. So I draw a part of it. This is this. I'm grateful for this experience and knowledge that I always have whatever I need in my life. So don't worry if your circles don't fit. We draw like part of the map, but the map is not limited to the part we draw. The map will like extend everywhere, and also here this our mind knows that it's going on, like it's a complete circle here. I draw a part of that circle because I have only a part of reality here which fits on my paper. How is it going for you? What do you discover? Is your mind? What does your mind say? What does your body say? How do you react emotionally on that? So I want to put I love my life. And I want to put, what it is that I have all I need at every, yeah, and I will be drawing exactly the same drawing tomorrow, live in the Finnish language, and I'm looking forward to explore more. I'm grateful for doing that, so I'm happy. I feel this is just the right energy to add to my system, this energy of gratefulness. And now, before we use color and go even deeper in this experience, we can like find places where we want to draw connections. Like, for example, here I feel there is some kind of disconnected to the upper part of my drawing, and I add a line here. We want to have a connected flow with the environment as well. And on the way, when I find some rounding necessary, I add rounding. And I will do that wherever I feel it's necessary. Maybe here as well, needs some connection to the upper part here. Here is something is going to be connected here. This kind of energy flow here. And you see that these lines are also like not always only one, but more than one, and the more lines you have, the better, or let's say the better connected your map is. It directly, like whatever you draw, every line is directly resonating in your mind. Know that. We are reprogramming our minds in our desired way. That's how we create our reality. I mean, we always create our reality at any moment anyway. And by drawing and connecting like our drawings to specific topics, we direct, like we create this reality we want to. We create our reality more intentionally, like just creating without intention by being. So be mindful, we always create our reality at any moment. So that's why this direction to the moment, our attention to now, is so precious tool, because now we are creating the future. So the way we are now, the way we like send our energy onto the world now, is creating what we experience in the future, which begins just 3 seconds from now. So now I invite you, choose a color that you like and start applying color. You have different options, like we can use this flow which we created from one side to the other in color. We can also start with like the circles. I'm tempted to color this circle in orange, but now I want to start like with a flow and see where it goes. So I picked this light orange color because I feel that serves my purpose. Like the colors are also charged with energy, and you can feel into yourself which color wants to flow into your topic of gratefulness at this moment. And you just pick it. And now it feels really nice to create this flow here, and I go once through my whole drawing here and connect cells to each other. And I want to create a smooth impression, so that's why I need to go over this pencil color again. If you have drawn Neurographica before, you know you can also use highlighters for this step. You're welcome to do that. If you use highlighters, please make sure that you use waterproof markers. Otherwise, you might be disappointed if your lines dissolve. So if I would use some highlighters here in my ball pen drawing, all my lines will like dissolve into like grayish mud, and I personally don't like that. But maybe if you work on letting imperfection be okay, you can try that, like willingly. I'm not joking. It's really, it can also be a tool to practice being imperfect. I practice being imperfect a lot on my channel. Go from where I am. I don't feel this necessity to practice that even more. I feel I am really good in practicing imperfection at the moment. It's also a new thing for me. Well, it had been a new thing a year ago, but now it's quite common. And I even love my imperfections. Part of maybe loving my life, because like I didn't love my life when I felt it's not the way it's supposed to be. So I put some, speaking about my love of my life, I put some of this darker red, which attracts my attention. The color attracted my attention. And this is my love. I love my life circle. And I feel it cannot be limited inside the circle. It is also flowing outside here. And you can let your color flow wherever you feel it, and just make sure that you connect more than one cell to each other and make it a flow. Like, don't create separation with the colors, but create even more connected, bigger shapes. That's this step. And we connect to the field, to the past, to even to like archetypal experiences with the colors. It's also flowing here. Just feel where it flows, and also look what the colors do for you. Like this red here that feels quite powerful. It feels strong, it feels determined, it feels full of love, and it inevitably also flows up here somewhere. So in this step, we don't need to define anything. We play with the color's energy and let it spread on our drawing, through our drawing. And since this algorithm is kind of this flow from left to right, this is quite naturally also being seen in these colors, the stream of colors, like how they flow, and invite this unknown, invite the field, invite the unconscious, not even only the unknown. You know it maybe, but no, your conscious don't know, didn't know before the drawing. So what do? I put more orange, maybe up here, and you can also leave cells in white. White is also inviting the unknown, so it's quite beautiful to leave white as well. So yeah, I will make sure that I have white. Some weird noise outside of my window. Don't know what's happening there. Yes. So I decide now I leave this step of colors as it is at the moment. And now I'll take a bigger pen and invite universal love and wisdom to my topic. And I create a field line, which is also a line which is flowing from one side of the drawing to the other. And it is more visible than the other lines, and it flows through the whole drawing again. And it is meant to invite, like explicitly invite, universal love and wisdom into our topic. More gratitude. Create more of this experience of all we are grateful for. We always invite, in any drawing, we invite universal love with these lines. And once we created one of those lines, we also work on integration. We check that it is flowing nicely to the environment. So that's always a very important and conscious step on which we like where we draw our attention to, where we spend time with. It's not something like we just do because it's the rule. We do it to make our drawings work most efficiently, to also create the results that we want to create. Since we always create our future with these drawings in a very conscious way. Don't rush. Don't ever rush drawing. So one of these lines is not enough for me. I create another one. It starts here in the circle and it flows here through that. Confidence, I always have whatever I need. And we make these lines unpredictable as well. They are not supposed to repeat themselves at any point. And we will also work on integrating all the intersections once again. From like both sides of the field line, we are working on these roundings. So what happened here, for example, this line is kind of lonely and I want to connect it with a line. So I just add a line. Your drawings are flexible. You can add whatever needs to be added at any point, even in 2 weeks or in 2 years. Sometimes that happens to me, that I suddenly think of one of my drawings, or maybe they are still on my wall, but even if they might be in my cupboard somewhere, and I know that I have to add a specific shape to some drawing, for example. That's because maybe we have reached this point in our development where this shape is now like it can be made visible. So one more. I add one more field line. I like to invite universal love to my drawing very much. Please come and guide me. Come with all the energy, all the inspiration, all the intuition, and be in my life. That's the invitation. I hope this noise outside is not disturbing you. Footpath is being cleaned properly after the winter. brushed even. So here some of this is add more lines, especially here from these field lines can require more connections. Here, for example, looks like one. So how does your mind feel? What does it say at the moment? How does your body react? How does my body react? Good question. I feel a little unrest, but it's also connected to this general energy at the moment. I feel a lot of unrest, physical unrest, energy of movement. But at the same time, I also feel grounded. It's an interesting experience. And now I feel my feet have become warm. And yeah, I feel something moving in my chest. My mind says you should have used some blue in the drawing, but obviously I haven't yet. So what we do in the next step is we choose one of our circles to be the shape that we want to focus our mind on the most at this moment. And I tell you, I want it to be I love my life shape. I even forgot what that stands for. Oh yeah, my experience of expansion. Maybe I want to experience that. I want to emphasize that. My experience of expansion. And I give it a bigger outline. It needs to be visible. I even forgot what it was. So I draw it visible here. I make it bigger than the others. My experience of expansion, growth, movement, great, because this is where my joy lies. My love is great, my love for my life, but the expansion is what I want to focus on. And I carefully work on the rounding of all my intersections inside and outside my fixing shape. Like this is that shape which is most prominent and which we decide to be the focus. All the other parts of the drawing are obviously also activated, visible, active in our perception and also in our presence and in our created future. So I hope you also found your shape you want to direct your attention on. I want another line here going there. Expansion. I feel that it gets more color in a minute. Before I do that, I want to make all my other shapes visible as well, more visible, because now the shapes and the lines are kind of mingling. So I take a medium thin marker and go over this shape of my love for my life once more. And I make this outline visible. Maybe once more, but I don't make it more visible than this shape of my expansion joy. So this is one, love for people. My gratefulness for not having to fix anyone because no one is broken. Yeah, I always have everything I need in my life. Yes, and my gratefulness for understanding the Finnish language to a very new level, on a very new level. Yeah, and I will add some colors now, more colors to my circles. Feel the need to do that. So this expansion shape, I want to add yellow. I start from outside to make it alive, like shading. I apply yellow here because yellow seems to be the right energy for expansion. Expansion comes from inside, comes from my connection to the divine in me, to my source, to my true self. It is the result of like acting in alignment with my true self, with my purpose, with whatever I came to do here. So, and I also add some orange in the middle. I want it visible. Yes, look at that. Now it's visible. To put something underneath. So you can do that if you feel like emphasizing your circles. You can do that if you feel like emphasizing the flow. You can also leave the circles like that. You do whatever you want to do in your drawing now. You can add more colors. You can apply shading. This is now the step in which we bring our drawing to a state that we personally feel satisfied and content with it. Expansion, 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 expansion. And this expansion actually expands as well. Like, I feel it needs to expand here as well. More flowing out of the circle here. It's making these flow of color more visible as well. Yes, it's flowing out of here, and it's flowing here as well. Expansion is obviously not limited. So it's also expanding here, and it's also going up here, I feel. More expansion here. Yellow. So the more you allow your intuition to decide which colors you take, where you color, the more you create the unexpected. Like you create what your mind was not able to create because it cannot imagine. And I'm telling that because I had this first urge was I will color that in orange. And that is okay, obviously, and maybe I add some more orange now, but there's also much more than what I can think of at this moment when I consciously define what I do. So I invite you to allow new colors to show up, colors you usually maybe normally wouldn't use or hadn't ever used before in your life. That means something is going on. Something new is going on. If you are here drawing Neurographica, you are obviously interested in drawing something new into your life. So I want this more smooth here, this orange flow of color. Expanding here as well. The expansion expands. And the more layers I put, the more I busy myself with that, the stronger the energies get, which I activate with my drawing. Gratefulness for what is in my life now. More of that. Order from universe. I'm playing with the colors. How are you doing with your colors? You also need to be Prepare to let the results catch up with you. All the energy you activate will reflect in your life, and most probably even days and weeks after the drawing. Have you created a state of confidence in you that your life is, there is already lots in your life that's working well, and that you can you would like more of, even because it's so nice? Because oftentimes we focus on what we don't want in our life and what is not yet perfect, and we like steal our own energy basically doing that. Yeah, everything is nice, but this and this and this and this doesn't work, and this and this and this, and money and whatever. So, and by focusing on everything what doesn't work, you order that from universe, more of that. So beware what you focus on. Whatever you focus on, you will get more of that. If you focus on things you don't have, on things you I don't know, you think you will never have, and all these things, you are basically giving this message to never get it. So lots of red and orange here. I see, it reminds me of like a nice fire actually. It reminds me of a fire drawing. The last time I created a drawing with using this algorithm, using this flow, it was quite different. It was the water was more blue, and everything was blue and blue and blue, and today I have this complete different energy. I feel power in that. And if you know that I don't have to emphasize on the other shapes, very like individual, not at this moment. Feels about this energy, this exactly this fiery energy, which has appeared here, and I will let it expand even more beyond and through all the shapes here. Make it one flow. I'm happy that I have some white still. It's oftentimes difficult for me to not to define, but it's so nice that not defining will attract the things which I cannot define yet with my conscious mind. So, some shading here. So if you have these bigger boundaries, make sure that you fade out the shading, that they won't create separations again, or boundaries, but it is emphasis created. Because the black lines, they flow into each other, but if you apply like just one red or something inside without fading, it will create another, like, yeah, it will create separation maybe. So make sure you let it flow. Some pokey shape here somewhere. Let's go here. So I will put here, I will put some light pink shape here now. More of my white is dissolving. Nice. Now the circles are becoming more visible in the flow of the background. Add some of this here as well. More flow of the color, mixing the colors here more smoothly into each other. Creating a beautiful life. That's a nice thing about these pencils, you can mix them nicely, applying more layers on top of each other, and it looks more and more beautiful. appealing to your own sense of beauty. So, yes, of course, more pinky here. So finally, gratefulness for what I have in my life and that I always have everything I need. We'll finally get some blue here. Some light blue on top of everything else. And you add colors as long as you need to feel that your drawing is complete. Like you add as much energy as you feel needed, and you will know when it's enough. I have whatever I need, whenever I need it, and that's what I'm really grateful for. And I'm talking about appreciating also own resources, for example, like qualities, abilities. That's also what I mean, what I have, what I need. Contacts, like my ability to read the language of life. It's not limited to like resources, financial resources or something. They are also included in that, but not limited to them, to this. This needs some, I need some purple here. For this circle, nobody needs to be rescued. Nobody is broken. Everybody is cared for. Everybody is moving on their own paths, in their own directions, and it's okay. Earth is a playground for any kind of experience, and many people don't share my experience, and that's okay. Everybody has their own like game to play on Earth. So I feel there's an interesting like mix of everything that is here. And it fits very well, this diversity of people, and also this topic of that everyone is like just right the way he or she is. On the way, exploring the world, on the playground Earth, making experiences, and a completely individual way. Me included. I always thought I am broken, but now I don't think that anymore. Quite freeing. And also satisfying not to have this glasses on that I am broken. I cannot, and I need to heal, and I don't know, I'm not able, and I'm at the wrong place. That's quite different place to start from. So the only thing that's always constant in this world is that things are constantly changing, and that's nice. Keeps life exciting, keeps energies fresh. Only one who doesn't like that is the mind. Mind doesn't want changes. That's why progress and expansion feels growth, let's say growth and expansion feels scary to the mind. So most of the time we need to do it anyway. Calm our mind, everything is fine. I go for it. I'll be fine. Yeah, I'm coming to the state where I feel pleased looking at my drawing. Last final. This seems to be a drawing you can I can add more and more layers for hours. I might do that later on, but for now I guess I stop soon. I've already activated a lot of energy from making my gratefulness visible. Yes. So turn that around. You have your own version of your drawing. Please share your drawings in my community on YouTube for everyone to see. Share your experiences, ask your questions. I'm happy to answer them. But now we'll do the very last step. We turn our drawing again and write down in 2 minutes words that are in our consciousness now, or in our that come out of our subconscious to the conscious now. We write topic 2 and write down what comes up right now for 2 minutes, without filters, without thinking. Beautiful. Maybe you get the idea, maybe you find like an overall topic which is like on the surface now, and for me it came up: gratefulness for my rich, meaningful life. And this is a mixture of what is already here and what is to be coming. And once I feel that gratefulness for my rich, meaningful life today, this is already here. Gratefulness for my rich, meaningful life. Yes, I am grateful for my rich, meaningful life. What did you explore in your drawings? Please share your drawings in my YouTube community. You can also ask your questions about your drawings, and it's also nice for people to see other people's drawings. It helps a lot, and it also connects to each other. I will also post my own drawing for that reason, to inspire people to draw. And if you like my guided drawing sessions, please subscribe for more, and also share with your friends. If you have someone who would like to start drawing themselves free. And if you are looking for personal guidance, I offer one-on-one drawing sessions. You can check that out in my bio and also on my homepage, Inner Freedom School, which is also in the bio. So thank you for drawing with me. It's a pleasure to have you here, and let's see you in the next video. Bye bye.